What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. So today we'll be talking about my turbo Mitsubishi Lancer GT and some of the ARC parts that we have. Some of you guys may or may not know, but ARC parts are really expensive. Let me give you guys a little, history of ARC. So ARC, otherwise known as Abbey Road Racing Company, or ARC Magic, they've been a company, a JDM Japanese company, has been around for many years. I believe since the 80s or 90s. They've been producing a lot of parts, especially for JDM cars. So stuff like your R34 GTRs, you have parts for the Mark IV Supra. You also have parts for somewhat newer cars like the S2000, EVO 10, EVO 8 and 9, BRZs, S13s, S14s, the list goes on. FDR X7s. So pretty much a lot of the, popular JDM sports cars, ARC does make parts for them. Mainly a lot of performance parts. And I guess I've always wanted to build a car that's like JDM theme. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure which brand to go, but my biggest factor in deciding was my intercooler. So as you guys know, whenever I went from NA to turbo, I had to pick out an intercooler. I didn't want to use the OEM intercooler. I was going to use an aftermarket one. And there was two brands I was looking at, HKS and ARC. A lot of you guys might be more familiar with HKS. HKS, probably the most famous thing I'm known for is the HKS blow-off valve and the HKS exhaust setup, HKS intake. So same thing, they make a lot of performance parts, but the thing is HKS is still making it. ARC, a lot of their parts are discontinued. So with that being said, since they're discontinued, number one, it's harder to find. Secondly, it's more expensive. Versus for HKS, since that's in production, you could go online to a website, websites like Out of Attack, Evasive Motorsports, Bulletproof Automotive. So many different places carry HKS parts. With ARC, since they're discontinued, there's no main website to buy it from. You have to buy it from someone used, or if you manage to find a quote-unquote new one, that means it's somebody bought it and just had it brand new in box and resold it. So because of all this reselling, the prices have went up over the years because of rarity as well. Okay, so enough of me ranting. Let's talk about some of the ARC parts I have on this car. So the ARC parts I have on this car are all pretty much off the EVO 10 catalog. Like I said, my main deciding factor was the intercooler. So HKS one I could get, but I managed to source an ARC from our intercooler, which is pretty hard to find. Managed to source one. And then probably the most common piece and easiest to find piece would be the ARC intake. That is something that I see, I guess you can say, fairly often. If you do see an EVO 10, chances are if they have an ARC part, it's probably the intake. Like I say, these things do fluctuate in price. Just for the intake alone, I would say on average it costs about $500 to $700. If you manage to find one on the cheaper end, maybe $300. And when I talk about pricing, I'm talking about US dollars, by the way, if some of you guys are watching from overseas. This one's in pretty good condition. I actually own two sets of these. I had to change out the filter. So that's one thing they still make. You can get filters for these things. Let's see. Besides the intake, and then you guys also saw the ARC from our intercooler. So like I said, it's used. I already have it all stenciled out for me. On the top, which you can't really see, but on the top of it, it says ARC as well. Yeah, you can't see it down there, but there's an ARC badge on it. I also pick up an ARC blow-off valve pipe. So it's just, nice and plain, but I managed to put an ARC sticker on there. So I actually got pretty lucky. I was trying to buy the ARC box used, and the same guy was selling the intercooler and a blow valve pipe, so I picked them all up for a package deal. The next thing I got was the ARC radiator cap. That's something that is relatively easy to find as well. Small little piece, universal piece for the most part. Depends on what kind of universal radiator cap that you have. And then another piece that I would say is fairly hard to find is the ARC blow-off valve, which I have back here. So previously I was running the HKS blow-off valve, and I switched to the ARC because of JDM points. This one back here is kind of hard to see. It is vented to atmosphere. It has a little ARC logo. Kind of hard to see. Yeah, managed to focus right over there. ARC logo. Apparently the blow valve come in different colors as well, but I've only seen the silver one, like mine, the most common. And then the holy grail of ARC parts that I have on the EVO 10 catalog will be this piece right here. So here to here, this is the titanium upper intercooler piping for the EVO 10. So with the intercooler piping, this two pieces are the upper intercooler piping, and then you have your bottom as well. Previously I have a titanium one as well, but I can forego the ARC one because JDM points. So backstory, I actually saw one of these ARC upper intercooler piping for sale, I want to say 2 or 3 years back, used. And back then I didn't know the pricing on these things, so I was like, holy crap, that is really expensive. It was over $2,000 for just this piece back then. So I passed on it, and then ever since I've been trying to hunt and look for one. I just never got lucky, just because of how rare they are and how hard it is to find. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say I've only seen on social media on the EVO 10 platform, maybe like 3 to 5 guys in the US have this piece. There might be more floating around, but from people who are following Instagram, there's just not that many. Firstly, it's really expensive. Secondly, it's discontinued and rare. I want to say, I think the Mitsubishi ARC EVO 10 parts were released in 2008 when the EVO 10 platform was released. There was a catalog car, so yeah, super awesome. You can see the burnt titanium. Some of them are more of like a bluish color like mine. Some has some more purple hue to it. Depends on how the titanium is burnt. You have your ARC nameplate. Such a beautiful piece. So the ARC intercooler piping actually comes, like I said, you could find one. There's another one that is just plain, almost like this kind of like stainless steel kind of look. Just plain, no engravings, nothing on it, I think. But I wanted one with the nameplate. It is, like I said, much more expensive. This is top piece. I forgot. I want to say I paid like $2,500 for it, maybe. It's a lot of money. Probably one of the rarest items on my car among the other JDM parts, but definitely my rarest ARC part on the car. Let's see. So let's recap. We have the intake from our intercooler, ARC blow valve pipe, ARC blow valve, and ARC upper intercooler pipe. So there's 5 ARC items on the car. I believe to do the full catalog on the EVO 10 platform, there's 2 more ARC items. One is the ARC strut bar. So I currently have a titanium carbine front strut bar. Really beautiful piece. Again, another JDM brand, really expensive as well. And I had a chance actually, before I bought this one, to buy an ARC strut bar as well. But that was in a plain like gray color with the ARC nameplate in the middle. The reason I passed on it was because I wanted the titanium theme to go with the car. Apparently, Legend has it that, so pretty much all EVO 10 ones are just like gray in color, but Legend has it that there is, I think, 1 or 2 ARC EVO 10 strut bars made of titanium floating around. I believe the owner of ARC, his son, is rocking one of them on his own personal car. Yeah, so that's all I know. Like I said, never really seen photos of it. It might have been on a promo car for the EVO 10 when they first came out. But yeah, I've never seen anyone selling it or rocking it on the EVO 10 platform on social media. So that's super rare. Maybe just 1 or 2 in the world, if anything. The second piece that I don't have will be the oil cap. So ARC does make an oil cap. I know there are a few different ERC oil caps, and one of our buddies here in Austin, otherwise known as Paint Seed on Instagram, Joseph, I bought some, well, actually I bought an ERC part from him a while back for my S2000, my future build. But he is selling a bunch of ERC oil caps, and I wasn't sure what fitment would fit this at first on the EVO 10 platform, but I think pretty much they have the same thread pitch as like a Nissan or Honda. So he actually showed me one that would work, but man, those oil caps are expensive. Like, don't get me wrong, I have some expensive parts in this car, but for a small little oil cap, that thing is pretty expensive. I would say on average, you're looking to pay like anywhere from maybe $700 to $1,000 US just for the little oil cap. So yeah, they are pretty expensive. I don't know, who knows, maybe sometime in the future, but as of right now, I'm just scared to spend so much money on a little piece. I bring this car to a lot of shows, and you guys know at car shows I have my hood popped just like it is right now. What that means is I can have somebody easily going up to it and grabbing parts off the car, and I definitely don't want somebody just unscrewing an oil cap and just disappearing off at the car show when that's $1,000 part. So yeah, I don't know, who knows, maybe in the future just to complete the whole catalog. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like my little ARC tour? I've been meaning to show you guys these parts for a while. I know, of course, if you guys are up to date on all my videos, you would know exactly all the parts I have on my car. Like I said, there's a bunch of other JDM brands as well on the car, like Ganador, Voltex, Carbing, HKS, Vertex. There's just so many JDM brands that I love that I rock on the car. But yeah, maybe in the future we'll do like a separate video talking about all the JDM goodies on the car. If you guys like to see that, let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, I also love to hear feedback from you guys on what kind of videos you guys want to see. I had subscribers tell me a while back that they wanted to see like an interior video of this car. So recently I did a video on all the interior mods done to the car. I've done stuff like how much I spent on my turbo setup, if you guys are interested. All the parts on my turbo car. I also recently did a video where I talk about pretty much how much I spent on the entire build. So if you guys haven't checked out those videos, make sure to check it out. Again, if there's anything else you guys want to see on this build or my other builds, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.